Maid's son was called Monkey by rich Boa Road members. Then he walked on stage to claim 70% ownership of the company. The night in Lagos was like a scorching iron plate suddenly doused with rain, stifling heat with a false hint of cleanness. Outside the International Conference Center, luxury cars lined up like a dragon, bodyguardias stood stiffly, and champagne towers refracted dizzying light under crystal chandeliers. Tonight was the grand celebration of the 10th anniversary of Africa Future Mining Group. The giant screen flashed bold slogans, leading Africa's resource revolution, creating Shah-Red prosperity, we are the architects of the future. Down below, Boa RD members in tailored suits mingled, their laughter mixing with English, French, and Nigerian pidgin. The White Sea, William H. A. Riss, sipped his champagne and smirked at local director Mustafa Balagan beside him. See, this is Africa's progress. The civilization we brought. Balagan grinned, gold tooth flashing. Civilization, they just Leah Rened to dance in suits. Suddenly, applause erupted. The host stepped on stage, beaming. Distinguished guests, tonight we celebrate not just the company's success, but also the unsung heroes behind it. Please welcome Amina, our head of sanitation, and her son Kabir, for a special gratitude performance. The room fell silent for a second, then stifled laughter broke out. Eyes met, heads shook. To them, this was just another charity act, let the lowly workers sing and dance to thank their masters, then go back to mopping floors. The spotlight swung to the backstage. A thin young man led a middle-aged woman onto the stage. She wore a faded blue uniform, her head wrapped neatly in a scarf, face lined with the hours of labor, yet her eyes were calm, deep like a well. This was Amina, the building's cleaning supervisor for 15 years. Beside her stood Kabir, her only son at 23, arcade-skinned. Lean, in a worn but clean white shirt, eyes Shah RP and steady. Ha Riss frowned. This again, wasting time with these cleaners every year. Balagan snorted. Let them dance. Tired monkeys obey their masters. Kabir he RD them. He didn't look at the laughing crowd. Instead, he took the mic, his voice quiet but cutting through the room like a knife. Boa RD members. Honored guests. My name is Kabir Amina. I'm not here to dance. The laughter died. Tonight, I stand here to announce something. His voice was firm, unnervingly calm. Under Section 87 of Nigeria's corporate law and the original 1985 Shah-Reholder Agreement, I, Kabir Amina, as the sole legal heir of Ma Rafdankari, hereby claim my rights as majority Shah-Reholder. A pause. His gaze swept the front row. I own 70% of Africa Future Mining Group. I demand an emergency Shah-Reholders meeting to review ownership and restructure the Boa Road. Silence. Like someone hit mute. Champagne. Glasses froze midair. Smiles turned to stone. 7 seconds stretched like 7 years. Then Balagan shot up, face red. You? A cleaner's son, you mad 70%? Did you dig up Shah Res from the trash? Kabir didn't blink. My Shah residential come from my father Ma Rafdankari. He was the real founder, holding 68%. After his accidental death, you stole his name, his future, with forged papers. Bullshit. Ha Riss Roa read. Ma Ruff sold his Shah Res. Your father was a useless engineer, died in a mine, that's fate. You gutter rat, how to you? Kabir pulled out a yellowed parchment, edges frayed but words clear. He held it high. The original 1985 agreement. Found by my mother in the CS hidden safe. Signed by my father and by the founders you worship today. His voice rose. You call me a monkey because my mother cleans, because I'm from the slums. But tonight, this monkey tells you, his eyes burned. Blood can't be erased. Land can't be stolen. What's ours will return. Lights cut out, only a spotlight left, framing Kabir like a mountain. The room stirred. Phones came out. Faces pale. Amina stood beside him, hands clasped, eyes wet. She remembered the rainy night 10 years ago, her husband Ma Ruff dragged from the mines, mud-caked, gripping a document. The Boa RD's fake condolences. The lost transfer papers. 15 years of scrubbing plaques that read the future belongs to us. She didn't speak. Just touched her son's back. Kabir took a breath. I've submitted all evidence, emails, ledgers, recordings, forged files to the FBI, CISI, and global watchdogs. You thought Africans were ignorant. Can't read law, can't use tech. A cold smile. I double majored in computer science and law. Cracked your servers from internet cafes. Learned Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo to read our ancestors' contracts. You call me monkey because you fear are me. His voice dropped to a whisper. Fear are I'm SMA ruder. Then you. Fear are I know this land better. Fear or I'll climb your throne. Chaos. Curses. Gasps. People bolted for the doors. Then the back door swung open. Police and investigators urged in, led by a female inspector holding papers. We're investigating major fraud in Shah Reholder theft. The BOA RD will carrot. Riz turned purple. You have no right. This is private. The inspector GLA read. When you steal a nation's wealth, nothing's private. Balagan lunged for the parchment. Gua RDS blocked him. He screamed, you broom boy. What do you know about running a company? Kabir looked down at the paper, fingers tracing his father's name. Then he lifted his head, voice quiet but thunderous, yes, my mother holds a broom. But she doesn't just sweep dust, she sweeps away the filth you hide under your shine. And today, I don't hold a broom. I hold the law. The truth. What belongs to my family, to this land, to every African? Crushed under your feet. Lights blazed back on. Kabir stood center stage, his shadow stretching long past slum rooftops, mine shafts, 15 years of silence. Finally standing in the sun, he knew this was just the start, but at least the monkey had knocked on the throne's door. In the world he RD at. 10 years is enough for a boy to become a man. Enough for a city to change under dust and noise. But for Amina, those 10 years were just about switching the broom from her left hand to her right, hiding her TRS from day to night. Lagos, 2015. The rainy season came. Road torrents poured down, shaking the tin roofs of the slums, muddy water flooding into low houses. Kabir, 15 and thin as a stick, curled up on a mattress in the corner, flipping through a battered physics book under the dim glow of a kerosene lamp. Son, don't stay up too late, Amina said softly, polishing a pair of worn-out shoes, one she'd salvaged from the company, fixing them up to we are the next day. Mom, I'm almost done with this problem, Kabir muttered, not looking up. If voltage is constant, current and resistance are inversely proportional, just like the wiring in this building. Amina smiled but said nothing. She didn't understand voltage or circuits. All she knew was that she'd swept and mopped every inch of that building 1,000 times. From the underground parking lot to the CS office on the top floor, no speck of dust escaped her. Her husband, M.A. Ruff, had once been the youngest engineer in that building. He came from an old family in Kano, descendants of the Donkari kingdom's mining officials, guardians of the land's riches. M.A. Ruff was SMART, honest. After university, he joined Africa Future Mining Group and quickly rose through the ranks. Then he discovered something. The company was illegally mining in the Niger Delta, land that belonged to a village, bought 4 pennies. With forged signatures. M.A. Ruff decided to expose it. The night before he could submit the evidence, there was a cave-in at the mine. M.A. Ruff was trapped underground. Rescue came too late. When they found him, he was already gone, still clutching the unsigned report. The company called it an unfortunate accident. The BOA RD sent flowers and compensation. Amina refused it. At the funeral, holding little Kabir, she didn't speak a word. But she knew, this wasn't an accident. It was murder. After the burial, she took Kabir to Lagos. A friend got her a job cleaning the same building where her husband once worked. Not just for money, though God knew they needed it, but for the truth. She wanted to see, with her own eyes, how men in suits, sipping wine, turned mountains of gold into their private treasure. For 10 years, Amina moved through the building like a shadow. She knew every director's schedule, which CA or pets hid safes, which doors had loose locks. She never snooped, but she never missed a detail. Then, one night in 2023, the building was empty.
Amina was cleaning the CS office when she noticed a loose panel behind the bookshelf.
A gentle push revealed a hidden compartment. No money. No guns. Just a single document wrapped in parchment. Her hands shook as she unfolded it. The original 1985 shareholder agreement. Ma Ruff Donkaree's name was right there. 68% ownership. But according to the company's records, Ma Ruff had voluntarily transferred his Shah residential to William H. A. Riss in 1990.
The signature on the document. Sloppy.
Forced. Nothing like her husband's bold, confident strokes. She hid the paper inside her uniform, heart pounding. This could change everything. But if they found out, she and Kabir wouldn't live to see morning. That night, she didn't go home. She sat on the rooftop, sta ring at Lagos lights like forgotten stars.
Then she pulled out an old photo. Ma Ruff holding baby Kabir, both grinning.
On the back, scribbled in tiny letters, knowledge is a broom. It sweeps away the dust of fate. She cried. Not from grief, but hope. The next day, she gave the document to Kabir. By then, Kabir was a STAR at Lagos University, top of his computer science class, so Shah RP even professors were impressed. Son, she handed him the file and a letter, this belonged to your father.
He wasn't killed by an accident. He was silenced. This company should be yours. Kabir's eyes widened.
He'd studied business cases.
70%.
That was control. Mom, can we win this? Amina shook her head.
I don't know.
But remember, they don't FIA are the poor. They FIA are the poor who are re-SMA router.
Wait. Study law. Study tech. Leah are in their rules, then use them.
She gripped his arm. Don't rush.
They killed your father once. They'll do it again. Kabir clenched the document, hands trembling.
He remembered his father teaching him to use
a compass, saying, land doesn't lie. If the ore is there, it's there. But men lied.
Power buried truth. He locked the file in his dorm safe and sta root digging. Using his IT internship access, he hacked into old company servers.
Deleted emails surfaced, one from H. A. Riss to Balagan. Ma Ruff has to go.
If he talks, the green plan, illegal mines, is exposed.
Make the accident look real.
Pay the widow to shut up.
Another from the CFO, transfer papers forged. Secretary copied Ma Ruff's signature. Lawyer will cover it. Kabir's fingers froze over the Kiboe Road.
He pulled up shareholder records. Ma Ruff's Shah residential were transferred in 1990, then split between H. A. Riss and Balagan's offshore shells. He also found something else. A site market abandoned on company maps was actually a RA metal motherlode hidden from the government. Profits siphoned off. The puzzle was coming together. But Kabir didn't act yet. He remembered his mother's words.
Wait until you're strong enough. He enrolled in law school, specializing in corporate fraud.
Joined Digital Messiah, a tech collective, Leah running encryption, data recovery, media leaks from hackers like Amma, Ghana, and investigative journalist Joy, Kenya. He knew one document wasn't enough. He needed law, tech, public pressure, proof. Then, in 2024, Amina fell while mopping, fracturing her hip.
The doctor said, you can't do this work anymore. Your bones are weak. Amina refused. I'm not sweeping floors. I'm sweeping debts. My husband's. My son's future.
Kabir knelt by her bed, holding her calloused hands.
Mom, you don't have to sweep anymore.
Your broom already clear. Read the path. It was time. He compiled all the evidence into an encrypted file, Project Donkaree. Contacted Africa Voice, an independent paper, planning the reveal for the company's 10th anniversary gala. I want them to hear the loudest slap when they're at their proudest, he told his mother. Amina smiled, then pulled something from under her pillow. An old broom, handle worn smooth. Take it, she said. When you go up there, carry this. Let them see a cleaner's broom can knock down golden doors. Kabir took it. It felt heavy as a mountain. This broom had swept more than dust. It had swept 15 years of silence, 10 years of waiting, a father's blood, a mother's TRS. And tomorrow, it would sweep through a throne built on lies. 10 years. From slums to university. From a cleaner's son to a dual-degree Cholet R. From nobody to the heir about to challenge an entire Boa RD. Every step Kabir took, he walked in his mother's footprints. He wasn't fighting alone. Behind him stood a humiliated mother, a murdered father, millions of Africans, in mines, streets, office corners, swallowing injustice daily. That yellowed shareholder agreement wasn't just a legal document. It was a blood pact. Ancestral. Land. Family honor. Stolen rights. All coming home. Standing at his dorm window, Kabir Sta read at the glowing Africa Future Mining Tower. Every light in that building hid a lie. And he was here to turn them off. Dad, he whispered, I'm coming. Mom, he gripped the broom, your sweeping won't be wasted. Tomorrow, he'd step onto that stage. Not to perform. To judge. Kabir's university days were like walking a tightrope over knives. By day, he was the brightest computer science student at Lagos University. Professors called him a natural at logic, classmates envied his brain like a machine. By night, he vanished into another world. Sunshine City-Slum's dingy internet cafe, Sta Lightnet. Here, he was Sokoto, an anonymous coder, taking freelance gigs to pay tuition and his mother's medicine. The cafe reeked of sweat, cigarettes, and cheap instant noodles. 20 old computers hummed, screens flickering, keyboard RDS clacking. Kabir. Hunched in a corner, lines of code scrolling before him. He was fixing a hacked financial system for a Ghanaian small business payment, 80,000 naira. 2 months of food for him and his mom. Sokoto, you're a god. The cafe manager, Abdullah, peered at the screen. Found the back door in 30 minutes. With skills like this, you could be a director at some big firm. Kabir smiled but said nothing. He knew, with his background, no corporate doors would open. He remembered a professor sneering on his first day, a cleaner's son. Computer science isn't for mopping floors. He hadn't a redude. Just aced the finals to shut him up. But Kabir wanted more than tech. He needed weapons, law to fight the Boa Road. By day, he coded. By night, he studied legal textbooks in the library, corporate law, contracts, Nigerian constitution. His notes were crammed with case studies on inheritance disputes and fraudulent shari transfers. One midnight, his phone buzzed. An encrypted message from Digital Masai, a secret network of West African tech activists. Sokoto, we found suspicious money trails from Africa Future Mining to Oasis Holdings in Seychelles. Think it's linked to illegal mining. Interested in digging Ghana? Kabir's pulse spiked. This was it. He typed back, interested. Need access. Sent an IP and login. They'd hacked a Seychelles corporate registry. Kabir's fingers flew across the keyboard RD, bypassing firewalls, sifting through Oasis Holdings transactions. At 3 a.m., he struck gold. A $50 million consulting fee from Africa Future Mining to Oasis instantly split into Haris and Balagan's private accounts. The memo: Donka Re-Mine Profits, 2023. Kabir froze. Donka Re-Mine, his father's name. Proof they'd been secretly mining and stealing profits all along. He backed up the data, then dug deeper. The 1990 shari transfer files uploaded from Balagan's office IP, timestamps. Mismatched, CLIA RLY forged. The evidence was piling up. But Kabir knew tech proof needed legal muscle. He joined the law school's pro bono clinic, offering free legal aid to slum residents. There, he met Ife Okon, the only female Boa RD member of Africa Future Mining, also a clinic sponsor. Ife was polished, media savvy, always preaching women's empowerment and corporate ethics. She'd once told Kabir, your Shah RP join our legal team after graduation, I'll recommend you. Kabir thanked her, INWARDLY scoffing. His mother's words echoed, some smiles hide the sharpest knives. He played along, getting closer to the enemy. At a clinic event, Ife gave a speech on transparency. Kabir raised his hand. If a founder's murdered, Shah residential stolen with forged papers, how does the heir reclaim rights? The room hushed. Ife's smile flickered. That's extreme. But Nigerian law protects ownership. With evidence, justice prevails. What if the evidence is buried by the company itself? Kabir pressed. Ife brushed it off. Then you need SMA router tactics. International allies. Public pressure. Kabir noted her words. She knew, and stayed silent. Her empowerment was just a rich woman's game. Meanwhile, life got harder. His mother's back worsened, surgery costs so a red. Kabir took more freelance jobs, coding overnight, dozing in class. Once, a professor snapped, "Think this is your internet cafe?" Kabir apologized, but his mind raced, 3 more gigs. Then mom's surgery is paid. Then Amma's urgent warning, Sokoto, watch out. Africa Future Mining is monitoring your traffic. They're on to you. Kabir's blood ran cold. He scanned his devices, found a hidden tracker. Someone was hacking him, but he wiped it, changed all passwords, went fully anonymous. He was on their radar now. The Boa RD wouldn't let a cleaner's son threaten their empire. But he couldn't stop. One night, his mother muttered. In her sleep, "Ma rough Kabir, don't touch those files, they'll kill you." Kabir held her hand. "Mom, I'm not afraid. Dad died for the truth. I'll fight with knowledge. Where brooms can't reach, code will." He opened his laptop. On screen, his father's photo and the parchment agreement. He created a new folder, Judgment Day. Inside, every piece of evidence, forged transfers, offshore money trails, Boa RD emails, mining data. Each file was a brick in the wall about to crush their throne. His battle planned legal, sue for ownership with pro bono lawyers. Tech, backup evidence across secure servers. Media, PA runner with Africa voice for the grand expose. Safety, send his mom to the village. Preparee for the worst. This fight could cost his life. But if he backed down, his father's blood, his mother's 15 years of sweeping, all for nothing. He recalled his village elders' words, the Donkari blood ca rise the courage of the land. He wasn't just one boy. He was a coder. A law student. A cleaner's son. A murdered engineer's heir. His weapon wasn't fists or rage, it was knowledge. The broom his mother said could sweep away fate's dust had become a blade of code in his hands. Outside, the slum's lights dimmed. Kabir shut his laptop, gazing at Africa Future Mining's neon-lit tower in the distance, a greedy eye watching the city. Just wait, he whispered. Tomorrow, you'll see how slum code rewrites your program. At the top floor of Lagos' most expensive club, crystal chandeliers cast golden light over the smell of cigars, whiskey, and money. Every Wednesday night, the Boa RD of Africa Future Mining Group met here, not for business, but to enjoy the spoils of victory. 6 men sat around a long table. William H. A. Riss, the White Sea, sipped 25-year scotch with the air of a colonial governor surveying his land. At 55, his silver hair was slicked back, his tie pin set. With a tiny diamond, a souvenir from Sierra Leone's blood diamond mines. Profits up 12% this year, he smirked. That abandoned lithium site is a gift from God. The local officials handled beside him, Mustafa Balagan, a bloated, gold chain ring Hausa elite, grinned. Relax, William. The governor took 3 million. He won't make a peep. Who checks an abandoned mine? Balagan was the Boa RD's local face, nepotism royalty. His father had been a military dictator's right-hand man, stealing wealth for the family. He saw himself as African aristocracy and looked down on the poor, especially northern villagers and slum rats. Speaking of checking, he now rolled his eyes, that IT attorney Kabir, the cleaner's son, he's been digging through old server logs. Even enrolled in law school. H.A. Riss scoffed. That broom boy let him dig. What's a rat gonna do? His father Ma Ruff was too smart, that's why he died young. Ifo Okon, the only woman on the Boa RD, stirred her coffee silently. H.A. RD educated, media savvy, she preached women's empowerment and corporate ethics. But her fingers tightened around her cup. Kabir's questions weren't random. He knew something. William, she said softly, shouldn't we be cautious? The hashtag We Re Not Slaves protests just ended. Bad PR could. H.A. Riss waved her off. PR Ife, you're weak. Africans don't need rights, they need jobs. Archa righty. That Kabir just another rat trying to climb. Let him. We'll kick him back down. Balagan ROA read with laughter. Exactly. Let them jump like monkeys, tire themselves out. Speaking of monkeys, H.A. Riss smirked, for the Anniversary Gala, I'll have the host do a gratitude segment. Make Amina and her son dance on stage, thank the company for their kindness, show the city how generous we to let cleaners perform. Balogun slammed the table. Perfect. Humiliate them. Give them 20,000 naira after, remind them of their place. Aoife sipped her coffee, silent. She knew she was pa-RT of this machine. Her empowerment talks were just decor for the elite. She'd had chances to expose the truth, but silence paid better. What if, she murmured, Ma Rough Sharez were never transferred? What if he had an air risk glass hit the table with a clink? Impossible. The 1990 transfer was notarized. His signature's on it. That widow of his can't even read. Balogun nodded. We paid the secretary to forge it, the lawyer to stamp it. Who'd question it? Ma Rough's dead. Shah residential gone. That boy smart or not, he's still dirt. Riss leaned back. Africa's future The future belongs to civilized men like us. Locals they dig, they sweep, they dance for us. That's the order of things. Unseen by them, a young waiter, Tony, a digital Masai plant, stood by the potted plants, trembling. His hidden earpiece streamed every word to Kabir's phone. Sta light net cafe. Kabir sat in the corner, headphones on, face stone cold. Each word burned into his skull. Make them dance 20,000 naira monkeys. His grip on the mouse turned his knuckles white. Rage boiled inside him, but he forced calm. He saved the audio, labeling it, Boa Road Confession, Racism and Fraud. This wasn't just greed. It was colonial arrogance, them seeing Africans as uneducated labor, lives worthless. He thought of his mother's bent back, mopping floors. His father's funeral, the fake wreaths. His own sleepless nights coding for tuition. They call me monkey because they're SCA red. SCA red. A cleaner's son understands their language. SCA red. A slum kid sees through their lies. SCA red. Knowledge can tear down their walls of money and power. Days later, Aoife Okon invited Kabir to a chic cafe. Smiling over latte art, she said, I heard your law thesis is on inheritance rights and African firms. Fascinating topic. Kabir met her eyes. Especially cases where founders Sharez are re-stolen, say, by forged documents after a suspicious death. Aoife's smile flickered. Hypothetically, how would heirs reclaim rights with evidence? And allies? A pause. Then, softly, that requires extraordinary courage. She didn't offer him a job again. Kabir knew she got the warning. That night, he added to his judgment day file Aoife Okon, complicit, but conflicted. Her guilt is the crack in their mirror. Sunshine City slum weekend visit. Amina sat outside, mending clothes, her back still sore. She looked up as Kabir hugged her. Did they find you? No, Mama. I have their voices now. They call us monkeys, want us to dance. But the real show, he gazed at the glowing Africa Future mining tower, will be their trial. Amina touched his face. Your father would be proud. Kabir nodded. Those men in their tower wore civilized masks over looting hands. Suits hid greed. Wine washed blood. But masks fall. Mama, he whispered, at the gala, I won't dance. I'll make them listen. The sky hung low over Kano like a crumpled grey cloth. Kabir stood at the edge of his ancestral village, rainwater pooling in the dirt paths, the air thick with the smell of wet earth and cattle. Tenya Rs. He was finally back, not as the cleaner's son, but as Ma Rough Donkaree's heir. The village was small, scattered mud brick huts with thatched roofs. The Rifu children splashed through puddles, laughing. Elders sat under eaves, puffing on pipes, their eyes deep with quiet knowing. This was Donkaree village, a name forgotten by modern maps, but the land his family had guaried for generations. He sought out Elder Malik, a man in his 90s, his face red with wrinkles like the land itself. The last living soul who remembered Ma Rough. You are Ma Rough's boy, the elder's milky eyes narrowed. Your eyes, they're his. Kabir knelt, offering a faded photo of his father. Grandfather, I've come for the truth. A long silence. Then, a slow nod. Come inside. The elder's hut was dim, smoke curling from a clay stove. On the wall hung an ancient map, rivers, mountains, veins of or marquette in faded ink. From a clay pot, Malik drew out a cloth bundle. Unwrapping it revealed a parchment identical to the one Kabir found in the CS office, but older, edges charred as if by fire. This is the blood pact, Malik rasped. 300 years ago, the Donkari king signed this with British colonizers. They stole our land with lies, but our ancestors wrote this in Hausa and Yoruba symbols. Swi ring, land cannot be taken. Mines cannot be owned. Rights will return to the people. Kabir's hands shook as he took it. Now he understood, his father hadn't just been fighting for justice. He'd been answering a call of blood. Your father, Malik continued, came back once. Told me the company cheated our village. Dug up our ore. He said, grandfather, I can't watch our land be raped. He took a copy to expose them. That was the last time I saw him. Tars burned Kabir's eyes. He'd thought his father died for principle. Now he knew it was legacy. Malik traced the parchment. The colonizers left, but their dogs remain. Those men in suits, they're the new conquerors. They use contracts instead of guns, laws instead of bullets, but they still steal. Grandfather, Kabir wiped his face, I'll take back what's ours. Not just Shah-Rez. Our dignity. The elder studied him, then stood abruptly. From the rafters, he took down an old drum, its height stretched taut, carvings of ancestral symbols along its sides. Outside, under the dripping eaves, he sat on a stone and closed his eyes. Tum. A single deep beat shattered the quiet. Tum. Two. Tum tum tum. The rhythm quickened. A hear beat, thunder, the pulse of the EARTH itself. Villagers emerged from huts, gathering in silence. Children stopped playing. Elders set down pipes. This was no ordinary drumming. It was history spoken in sound. The drum told a story. A son of Donkari discovers outsiders stealing or he speaks truth and is swallowed by darkness. His boy, raised in the city, returns with knowledge as his weapon. He will make the land hear justice. The beats grew frenzied, a storm of sound. Kabir knelt before the drum, rain and TRS mingling on his face. Something stirred in him, not anger, but purpose. When the drum fell silent, Malik opened his eyes and held out the mallet. Take it. This was your father's. Now it's yours. Kabir gripped it. The weight was immense. This wasn't just an instrument. It was a war drum, for the silenced, the forgotten. Grandfather, his voice broke, what do I do? Malik gazed at the horizon. Go. Use your laws, your machines, your voice. But remember, true power isn't in towers. It's in the land. The people. The ancestors watching. Before leaving, Kabir visited his father's grave, a simple stone half buried in weeds. He read them away, laid wildflowers at the base. Dad, he whispered, I found the blood pact. I understand now. Mom's waiting. I'll make them see Donkari blood doesn't break. I'll make them hear the drum. He recorded the elder's rhythm on his phone. Back in Lagos, he saved it as Ancestors' Drum. This would be his weapon, modern lights against ancient sound, colonial arrogance trembling before a legacy older than their greed. He called his Africa voice contact, I have more than legal proof. A 300-year-old blood pact, proving that mine belongs to Donkari. This isn't just corporate fraud. It's colonial theft. Continued. The reporter gasped. This will blow up nationwide. I don't just want Shah-Rez, Kabir said. I want the truth known, our land. Our ore. Not theirs to take. Days later, Ifo Okon met him again, not in a cafe, but a secluded bookstore. She looked exhausted. Kabir, she blurted, I heard the club recording. Ris and Balagan, it's monstrous. Kabir scoffed. Only now you see it. When they called us monkeys, you laughed. She flinched. I was wrong. I thought staying on the Boa RD meant I could change things from within. But I became Pa RT of it. Tars weld. I'll help. I'll give you internal files, money trails.
But promise me my family stays safe.
Kabir studied her.
You should have spoken sooner. I was SCA red, she choked. My daughter is 5.
If I betray them, pause.
Then, quietly, I'll protect you. But you testify. Publicly. Aoife swallowed hard, then nodded.
For her and for the truth.
It was a gamble. Aoife might falter.
But justice needed allies even late, even fearful ones. That night, Kabir played Ancestors' drum on his laptop. The deep beats pulsed through him, unstoppable as time itself. Outside his window, the Africa Future Mining Tower's lights still glittered like a greedy eye. Listen well, he murmured. Your end comes with the drum.
Tomorrow, he'd walk onto that stage, not with a plea. But a return. The morning sun cut through the rainy season's gloom, lighting up the peeling sign of STA Lightnet Cafe. Kabir hadn't slept, his eyes bloodshot but burning with focus.
He'd just finished his final move, packaging the Boa Rudrum, recording photos of the blood-packed, offshore money trails, and forged documents into encrypted files. Sent to Africa Voice, Transparency Africa, and 3 trusted journalists.
It's done, he rasped into his phone. 3 hours later, the first article dropped. The headline hit like thunder: Africa Future Mining Board calls workers monkeys, secret recording leaked. Attached was the 8-minute audio. Riss sneer, let them jump. They'll tire themselves out. Balogun's laugh, monkeys should dance for their masters.
Every word lashed the public like a whip. Social media exploded. Hashtag We Re Not Monkeys trended first in Nigeria, then Ghana, Kenya, South Africa. Young people read the clip, rage pouring into comments. They call us monkeys because we sweep, mine, deliver food. Then what are they, blood-sucking vultures?
15 rs of this. Foreign bosses treat us like slaves, local elites like dogs.
Kabir Amina, you're our hero. University campuses erupted. At Lagos Uni, students rallied under banners, "End racism now.
Justice for the cleaner's son. We're not monkeys, we're the future." A professor played the recording in class, voice shaking. This is the reality we face.
They call us monkeys because they're terrified of us waking up, uniting, taking back what's ours. Outside Africa Future Mining's tower, the wind had shifted. Protesters gathered where an Ivory streamers still hung. Cleaners, RDS, drivers, cafeteria workers, the invisible staff stood together for the first time.
In their uniforms, holding handwritten signs, Amina, we stand with you. Kabir, our Shah residential too. We built this tower, thieves won't own it. No violence. Just silence sitting. But their presence was louder than any scream. The company's stock nosedived.
Opening at 1,200 Nigerian Nairas per Shari, it crashed to 980 Nigerian Nairas in 30 minutes.
Panic selling. Global mining regulators announced allegations under urgent investigation.
The Boa RD scrambled. Riss raged, who leaked that?
Find them. I want that broom boy gone. Balogun SNA led, it's Aoife Okon, the traitor.
Then Aoife walked in, resignation letter in hand.
William. Mustafa. I quit. And I gave Africa Voice proof. Oasis Holdings money trails, your bribes to officials. You bitch. Balogun ROA read. You know what happens to snitches. Aoife didn't flinch. Better than my daughter asking me one day, Mom, why did you help? The bad guy, she laughed. No looking back. Riss slumped into his chair, face gray. The game was slipping away. That afternoon, Balogun met Kabir secretly at a private club. Kabir, he used fake RMTH, let's talk.
No need for drama. I'll give you 100 million Nigerian Nairas cash.
Delete the evidence, leave Nigeria, Canada, UK, anywhere. Clean slate. Kabir laughed coldly. 100 million, is that what my father's life is worth? Balogun's mask cracked. Don't be stupid. You think you can win? We have lawyers, politicians, guns, a cleaner's son against the system. You'll vanish like your father. Kabir stood, towering over him.
Know why I'm not SCA red? Because your threats I heard them 10 years ago, at my dad's funeral. But today he leaned in. I have the law. I have proof. I have the people. And UAIC smile. Only Fia R. Balogun trembled, speechless. That night, Kabir went live on Africa Voice. The host asked, "You're the continent's spotlight now. Are you afraid?" "Yes," Kabir said simply. "Afraid for my mom. Afraid to fail. Afraid justice will be late again. But more afraid that if we stay silent, my child will be called monkey next. That if we back down, Africa's riches will forever feed the few. That if we bow, our ancestors' drums will fade to nothing." He held up the blood-packed replica. "This isn't paper. It's 300 years of blood. It says, land can't be stolen. Rights will return. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for truth, for every cleaner, miner, farmer, mother, child crushed underfoot to say, we matter. They call me monkey fine. Then I'll be the monkey who climbs the throne. And I'll tell them Africa's future isn't yours to write." The nation erupted. The presidency announced, federal investigation underway. Kabir returned to Sunshine City. Neighbors waited outside his shack, no cheers, just quiet respect. An old cleaner grasped his hand, TRS in his eyes. "Kabir, you're our light." Amina stood in the doorway, weeping. No words. Just a hand on her son's shoulder. Kabir knew the storm wasn't over. Haris and Balogun wouldn't surrender. They had one last weapon, power and violence, but he wasn't alone anymore. #We re not monkeys was a wildfire across Africa. And he'd cary the torch. "Mom," he whispered, "we're close." Amina gazed at the distant mining tower. "Does your father see this somewhere?" the drumbeat seemed to answer. The gallery was packed, reporters, students, union reps, and Amina with dozens of cleaners in their blue uniforms, sitting silent as mountains. Cameras zoomed in on the defendants, William H. Harris, Mustafa Balogun, and their freshly hired legal team. Kabir had no lawyer. He stood at the plaintiff's table, crisp white shirt, eyes like fire. Behind him, a screen displayed the blood-packed parchment, the original shareholder agreement, and the damning audio waveform from the Boa Roadroom. The judge's gavel cracked. "Plaintiff Kabir Amina, you allege fraud, illegal seizure of shares, and attempted murder. Present your evidence." Kabir rose, voice steady. "3 categories, Your Honor. First, historical proof." He pointed to the parchment. "The 1985 shareholder agreement shows my father, M.A. Ruf Donkari, held 68% ownership. The defendant's transfer document, a playback of a forensic expert, signature forged. Confirmed by the secretary who mimicked it. Second, digital proof. Server logs flashed on screen. The transfer file was uploaded from Balogun's office IP. Timestamps don't match, clearly backdated. Then, deleted emails pay read, HRS voice SNA ruling, MA Ruff must disappear, or the green plan leaks. Gasps filled the room. Third, cultural proof. Kabir took a breath. Hit play. The elder's drum pulsed through the courtroom, his voice echoing, land cannot be stolen. Minds cannot be owned. Rights return to the people. This is the Donkari blood pact, 300 years old, Kabir said. Not just paper. A covenant with the land they stole. The defense lawyer leapt up. Ridiculous. Tribal myths as evidence. This is emotional manipulation. Kabir smirked. When colonizers took land by gunfire, they called us savages. Now we reclaim it by law, and weary manipulators who's savage here. The judge raised a hand. Proceed. Finally, a witness. Kabir turned to the door. Ifo Okon entered, plain dress, chin high. Ifo Okon, former Boa RD member, testify, Harisan Balogun plotted M.A. Ruff's murder, forged shares, and siphoned mining profits offshore. Here are the ledgers. She handed them over. Balogun ROA read, traitor. You'll rot for this. Bailiffs restrained him. Chaos. Kabir's closing words cut through, Your Honor, I'm not tearing down the system. I'm fixing it. Africa's future shouldn't be written by suited neo-colonizers. It justice may be late. He looked at his mother, at the cleaners in the gallery, voice unshaken, but it always arrives. The gavel fell. Given the gravity and evidence, this court adjourns, judgment reserved. 3 long months. Like a dull knife sawing through flesh. Africa Future Mining Group was in shambles. Stocks kept crashing. Investors fled. Miners went on strike. HARIS tried to move assets to offshore shells, but the central bank froze his accounts. Balogun pulled political strings to kill the lawsuit only for the media to expose the bribes, getting officials suspended. Kabir didn't rest. By day, he sat in court. By night, he and Digital Masai dug through financial leaks. He turned Ancestors' Drum into a viral short film, Spar King Youth rallies across Africa. Hashtag We Re Not Monkeys became the African Youth Rights Alliance, protests in 10 nations. Amina became a slum icon. Cleaners formed sister Amina groups, offering legal aid to poor women. Their signs read, Brooms Sweep Justice Too. We are not invisible. And Kabir from Cleaner's son to Prince Dankari, in millions he RTS. Judgment Day. Courtroom 12 was packed again. Cameras rolled. Live feeds reached every corner of Africa. Presidential observers sat front row. HARIS suit was wrinkled, eyes venomous. Balogun fidgeted, gold chain glinting. The judge entered. This case, his voice boomed, concerns ownership fraud, attempted murder, and cultural rights violations. After 3 months, this court finds Plaintiff Kabir Amina's evidence chain is complete and lawful. The 1985 Shah Reholder Agreement stands. Maaruf Dankari's Shah residential pass to his sole heir, Kabir Amina. Someone sobbed in the gallery. The transfer documents are reforged, proven by handwriting analysis and digital logs. William HARIS and Mustafa Balogun. Are guilty of fraud, theft, and conspiracy to murder. Criminal trial to follow. Balogun shot up, this is a witch hunt. Mayor Shawls dragged him out. HARIS sat frozen, face grey. On Shah proportions, Maaruf held 68%, diluted to 70% after capital raises. Under Section 87 of Nigeria's corporate law, the heir inherits full rights. The gavel fell. This court rules, Kabir Amina lawfully owns 70% of Africa Future Mining Group. The current BOA RD is dissolved. The plaintiff will form a new BOA RD and convene an emergency Shah Reholders meeting. Boom! The room erupted. Reporters mobbed Kabir, cameras flashing. Cleaners hugged, chanting, Kabir! Kabir! Amina stood trembling, TRS streaming. She looked Tawa RD her husband's grave, lips moving silently. Maaruf, do you see our son one? Kabir didn't cheer. Just bowed deeply to the judge, his mother, the people. He knew the 70% wasn't just a number. It was the truth. His father died. For the silence his mother swept through for 15 years. The 300-year-old blood covenant. The spine finally straightened for millions called monkeys. 72 hours later HARIS was arrested at home. Murder, fraud, money laundering charges. Interpol issued a red notice for his family fleeing to Seychelles. Balogun tried bribing BOA RDS to escape. Failed. Got shackled. His mansions, CARS, clubs, seized. Ife Okon entered witness protection. Her testimony would bury them. In an interview, she said, I thought silence was survival. Now I know awakening is real courage. Africa Future Mining HQ. Kabir didn't RCH into the CS office first. He called a town hall for cleaners, RDS, drivers, cafeteria staff. No suit. Just a white shirt. Brothers. Sisters. His voice was quiet. I'm not here as your boss. I'm Amina's son. Maaruf Dankari's heir. A guy who once mopped floors, fixed computers, worried over rent, like you. This company was never meant for suits. Who built it? The hands that scrub floors, RD gates, serve meals, your sweat grew these walls. Then, the bombshell's new name, Donkari People's Mining Group. 70% Shah Residential to the Donkari Family Trust, funding schools, clinics, villages. 30% Shah Residential to the Workers' Union, profit SHA ring for all. The abandoned mine. 50% profits to the state. 50% to Northern Development. Silence, then ROA ring applause. Someone yelled, Kabir. Our chief. Kabir raised a hand. No. The real chiefs. You. Everyone who kept dignity in the DRK. That night, Sunshine City neighbors lined the muddy path with torches. Kids chased Kabir, giggling, the prince is home. Amina ked bean porridge, their poorest meal. They ate in silence at the tiny table. Son, she whispered, your father would laugh. Kabir nodded. It's done, Mama. But not over. I know. She touched his cheek. You'll make more people see light. Yes. He knew. Ha Riss and Balagan fell, but neocolonizer mindsets lingered. Slums kept growing. Schools stayed unequal. Youth unemployment festered. This 70% victory just the start. It proved brooms can sweep clean. Code can crack lies. Law can topple power. And united people, they can dethrone any king. Outside, workers installed the new company logo, a broom, hey-a-r, and drumstick intertwined. Underneath, the motto, from dust to dignity. The drumbeat seemed to echo again. This time, for everyone. The old Africa Future Mining headquarters routers looked different now. Outside, the gleaming new sign read, Donkari People's Mining Group, its logo a broom, hey-a-r, and drumstick intertwined, with the motto underneath, from dust to dignity. Inside, no red CA or pets. No champagne. The long table was made of reclaimed wood, chairs crafted by local artisans. The front rows weren't filled with suited elites, they were packed with cleaners, security guardias, drivers, cafeteria workers, miners' reps, and village elders from the north. Kabir stood at the podium. Behind him, a screen played footage. Ha Riss at the club sneering, monkeys should dance. Balagan laughing. Then Amina sweeping floors late at night. Kabir coding in internet cafes until dawn. The elders' drum echoing through time. Friends, Kabir's voice was steady, we're not here to take orders from a boss. Today, we build a people's Boa Road. He announced the new structure. Executive Boa Road, Kabir as chair, Ifa Okon, voted in by workers, as independent director, plus 3 experts in tech, law, and community development. Workers Oversight Committee, elected by staff, with power to audit finances, hiring, and mining operations. Community Development Fund, 30% of profits for schools, hospitals, clean water projects. This company, Kabir said, no longer belongs to the few. It belongs to every hand that built it. Then, commotion. Police and investigators entered. The lead inspector approached Kabir, handing him papers. Mr. Kabir, federal court has accepted the Ha Riss Balagan case. These are the official indictments. Silence fell. Kabir took the documents, turned to the crowd, they thought power could bury crimes. Today, the law stands with us. Suddenly, an elderly cleaner stood, voice shaking, Kabir, can we make one request? Kabir stepped down. Of course. Can we change the CS office CA or pet too many secrets under that one? The old man's eyes glistened. We want to see the floor, clean wood. The room erupted in applause. Kabir nodded. Done. Not just the CA or pet, the door stays open, always. That night, Donkari People's Mining posted its first transparency report online, a full ownership structure and financials. Mining outputs, profit splits. The Blood Pack Mines 5-year plan. Schools, clinics, youth tech centers. The hashtag We Re Not Monkeys founder tweeted, from monkeys to owners, Kabir did the impossible with law. Not just victory. Awakening. The president addressed the nation, Kabir's case is an African corporate milestone. Justice knows no class. Dignity is non-negotiable. But the most moving tribute, slum kids' crayon drawings, Kabir and Amina, stomping on monkey labels, we ring crowns. Scrawled words, our heroes. Kabir studied them, whispering, I'm no hero. I just didn't let the broom stop. He knew Harrison Balogun's trial wasn't over. Neocolonizer shadows still lingered. But at least one door had been kicked open. And light it was pouring in.